Well, thanks everyone for joining us for another Feature Friday. My name is Jeff DeHart. I'm one of the facilities market segment leaders with GPRS. I have been working with the SiteMap platform for a little over 3 years now, and I am excited to bring you a couple of just deep dives into features that you may find useful. As we begin, let's just talk about what Feature Friday is and how this works, and then we can start the question portion and then dive into some SiteMap content. So how Feature Friday works, if you're joining us for the first time, these are just a quick 15-minute dive into some of the features that SiteMap has to offer. We're going to do a step-by-step breakdown of those processes. We'll give you some use cases, and then we'll give you an opportunity for a Q&A session. So as we proceed, if you're new to Demio and this platform that we're using to present, you can ask questions. You can type those directly in the chat and we'll answer it as soon as we can. We also will have a Q&A session at the end where we may invite you on stage so you can ask your questions in person in a live discussion if you prefer that. So I'd like to start with a couple of questions here. These are poll questions that you should be able to answer in the chat. The first is, how often do you and your team use SiteMap? Do you use it every day? Do you check it from time to time before you dig? Would you love to use it, but you just don't understand it? Or are you asking, what's SiteMap again? Looks like we've got some folks checking it from time to time before they dig, and some folks who are appropriately positioned here in Feature Friday who would love to use it but don't understand it. We'll see if we can help with that understanding. So let's move on to our next question, and that's going to be, how confident are you that your facility records are up to date? Not very confident. Updates just don't always get updated. Some records are current, but others aren't. Most of our information is accurate and maintained, or I'm not sure. Seeing a mixed bag there too. Some records are current, but others aren't. Seems to be the overwhelming answer here. So let's dive into a couple of ways SiteMap can help you with keeping your records current and the information it can provide, and how it can help you with planning efforts on your projects. So let's hop over here to SiteMap. I am logged in here as a client. You can see a whole bunch of data, and the first thing I want to take a look at is our sewer panel. Over on the left-hand side, this sewer panel will show you jobs that have NASSCO inspections attached to them. So it's curated content. You'll see exactly what you're able to access with these NASSCO inspections. NASSCO inspections run by line segment, so clean out to manhole, manhole to manhole, that kind of an idea. And we rank them according to the condition. And so you can see we have one in good condition, a couple in excellent condition, but this one says it requires immediate attention. So I want to dive in there and take a look. I can click here and I can see, okay, we started at manhole number 3, we ended at manhole number 1, and down here under this observation, I can see that we have 60% of the cross-sectional area filled with grease. If I click that, it'll zoom right to that area. I'm going to just back up that video a few seconds here so we can kind of run up to it. But we can play the video directly here in the platform. I can even make it full screen. And we can see inside of that pipe that is about 60% blocked. And we've got a lot of bugs in there, and it's super gross. Now, if we want to know where in the world that actually is, SiteMap gives you the ability to fly to that location. This little icon, anywhere you see it, will allow you to go to that place. And now we can look for that particular line segment and start planning out how we're going to make that repair. Give the line work a moment to load. There we go. So that manhole 3 to MSA 3, that's going to be this section right here. There's our manhole 3. We even have a photo that's been uploaded. I can see the video from the feature details panel as well. And I can tell we have an MSA, that's a survey abandonment. I can pull up the line string tool and start measuring based on what we see in the NASSCO reporting, that's at about 150 feet. So I can start measuring here and look for about 150 feet in. Looks like that's getting pretty close. So right where this abandonment is, that's where we have that grease issue. Looks like we'd be able to get in there from manhole 3. We may be able to get in from manhole 1 if that's connected. And we can start planning how we're going to address that issue that requires our immediate attention. So SiteMap is a great planning tool for your sewer projects, giving you access to the videos, to the condition assessments, and to the line work all in one place. I want to keep moving through here and take a look at our DigBoard as our next item. So the DigBoard is a great planning tool, again, for you to communicate with your team. If you're in a subscription, a SiteMap access plan, you'll be able to use this feature. You can click and add a new DigBoard down here, draw in lines, shapes, make annotations, and then save that. And both you and your colleagues will be able to see it. Now, looking at this, you'll notice a difference here between Bancroft Street, where I just have a fly to icon, and the other areas here that have the fly to, edit, and delete icons. These I created. This one my colleague created. And if I want to go snoop and see what my colleague is doing, I can click that fly to location button. And I can see what my colleague Jeremiah annotated on this map. There we go. Our line work has loaded, and he's saying he's going to excavate this whole area. And he has some other shapes he's drawn here too. Now, if I wanted to see some of my other projects, I have a lighting conduit replacement project that I was working here. We'll zoom in a little further to that, but clicking that fly to location puts it in the center of the screen. And you can see here, I have highlighted in red the area where we're going to be replacing some lighting conduit. I've made notes here where we're going to have some traffic barricades, and I have material staging set up over here. So we're going to block off that parking lot. We're going to do our work. We have material staged here, and it just helps to organize for both me and my team. I can click over here as well, see another area adjacent to the university where I wanted to do some work. It just makes it easy to find your work areas and make notes and collaborate with your team. The next item we want to talk through is line style customization. So GPRS has a standard line styling. And if you look here, we have a couple of different electrical line types on this project. So we have some site lighting, and we have electrical duct lines. In this case, that all comes through with the same style. It's just this narrow dashed red line. But if I go here to account and then go to styles, this allows me to change the line stylization and the feature stylization for anything in the platform. And so if I wanted to look here for my electrical line duct, there it is. You'll see the check mark that says I have those items in my data set. Compared to this electrical vault, I don't have any of those to change. So if I do make a change, I won't see it. I'll click on the palette icon, and I can select from external feature styles, GPRS feature styles, or imported feature styles. We'll stick with GPRS. I can change that color to any of these pre-selected colors, or if I know the hex key of a color that I want to use, I can do that. I can change my line thickness either by typing here or by using the up and down arrows. So if I want to make that line duct a whole lot thicker, and maybe I want to make it solid instead of dashed, I can change the opacity if I want. There's our preview. All I have to do is click save, and you'll see that updates in real time in the platform. Now, for me and for my colleagues in the same subscription, all of my electrical duct lines are going to appear wide and solid, and it helps to differentiate them from the electrical site lights. So that was a quick overview of our sewer layer, our DigBoard, and how you can customize line styles. I think we want to move over to a quick demo of our reality capture feature. It would be really hard for me to do this from the office today, so we recorded a quick video This is a mobile feature. It's unique to our mobile app, which you can download for your Apple and your Android devices. But it allows you to snap to surface features like manholes, irrigation control valves, roof drains, things like that, and view your utility lines in an augmented reality environment. So this is at our corporate office. You'll see we connected to a irrigation control valve, and now we are connecting to a roof drain. And as we spin around, you'll see everything is superimposed on reality. And so this gives you the ability to walk around your job site and view the utility layout and get an idea of where everything is. It's a pretty cool feature. I noticed we have some questions here in the chat. Jordan, to answer that question on sharing sewer videos, let's go back over to SiteMap. I'll end this slideshow real quick here. If you want to share those sewer videos with someone else, you would actually go to the jobs menu, and I'm going to grab that job number from your jobs menu. Find the one you want to share. Now, this can only work if you're in a SiteMap professional subscription. You would go to the collaborators tab here and share that with another user. That only works for our pro subscribers right now. It is something that you'll see some updates to that functionality in the near future. And we can talk about that offline if you would like to discuss how you can do that, but you would share it from the jobs menu here. I see another question from Greg. If you change the line color, does that update for everyone? I believe it updates for everyone on your access plan. So everyone in your user group. It doesn't update that system-wide. So if there are people who are not on the same subscription as you, it won't change it for them, but it would change it for you and for your colleagues that are sharing data together. So I'll go back here to our presentation. I do want to remind you, if you need live support, the SiteMap Client Success Team is happy to help. You can just email support@sitemap.com. That team is online, I believe 8 to 5 Eastern, Monday through Friday. They will be happy to help. You can email them. They will either email you back or give you a call, depending on what's most appropriate. And they'll take good care of you. If you want to know more, you can schedule a live demo. You can reach out to me directly. My contact info is below. You can also reach out to SiteMap support, and they can help connect you with your local representative as well. Jordan, I see you had one more question. If you and your colleague update the DigBoard at the same time, your annotations are going to be independent of each other. So you would both have separate annotations, and you would be able to toggle those off and on. You wouldn't see their edits while they're making them, and they wouldn't see yours. But when you leave edit mode, you'd see them both together, and you can toggle between them. Let me jump back over to the browser here and show you what that might look like, because that is a really interesting question. So in a case like this, you'll see Jeremiah's annotations up here and mine down here. If I go over to the layers tool, this diamond icon, DigBoard has its own layer, and it will curate this to show you any DigBoard annotations that are made in the frame of your screen at that time. If you want to turn them all off, you can do that with the eyeball icon. And if you want to turn on one or the other, so here I'm just looking at mine. Here I'm just looking at Jeremiah's. I have that ability to toggle them back and forth. And so if you're working on your own annotations, you won't see your colleagues' annotations while you're doing that. So I hope that helps. And again, I will be happy to answer any additional questions you have. Feel free to reach out. Thank you very much.